eclipse season flow. I be rocking my glow from my head to my toe. Call me supernova. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. My name is Moon Magic. I am a hip-hop artist, MC, intuitive, aka the hip-hop witch, and welcome back to my channel. It's going to be the first general reading for tarot that I do on my YouTube channel, and I am excited to be able to do this reading for you. It is an honor to be able to do this reading for you, and trust that if you are here on my YouTube channel right now, that this reading, this intuitive message was meant for you. Now, before we get started and I start reading these cards, I want to first put a disclaimer out there that for me, tarot is a very intuitive and imaginative process, and the cards help us to tap into our own intuition, into our own imagination, into our own internal landscape, and are not meant to be a substitute for a real doctor. If you are experiencing a mental health crisis, please reach out to a real professional to help you. And as always, take what it is that resonates with you, take what it is that can help you on your journey, and leave the rest. All right, with that being said, let's get started. All right, y'all, so for today's special general reading, I'm going to be doing 3 different pick a card tarot options for the piles. The options are going to correspond with these beautiful stones and shells that I have here. So if you resonate with pile 1, the option for pile 1 is going to be Soladite, which Soladite for me has always been something that helps to tap into that third eye, your intuition, and your throat chakra. All right, pile 2. Pile 2 is going to be Lavender, Amethyst. I believe that's what this one is called. Which for me, I've been really drawn to amethyst lately, and it's been such a helpful stone in being able to transmute, grief and sorrow, and be able to find higher love in sticky situations. And then lastly, number 3, I have this shell. I will say that this shell has been something that has helped me to ground when everything is very shaky and moving. You know, there's lots of rigid movement, by the waters that was created here on this shell. And so when I hold it, I feel these ridges here, and it helps to just ground me, reminding me of the movement of all of life. Go ahead and take a second, choose which stone you resonate with, and I will see you at your pile. All right, pile number 1, let's get started. So the first card that came out is the Hanged Man. Second card that came out is the 10 of Rods. The third card that came out is the Page of Cups. Whoo! So immediately what I'm seeing is I'm getting this message of somebody who has been on a specific path, a specific road, has been working towards a specific goal of some sort. If you can see, the 10 of Rods is carrying this giant load of rods, and the rods, also known as the 10 of Wands, is all about manifestation. It's all about that creation energy of something that you're trying to, create from that passion, from that pit in your stomach, and create it into physical form here in Earth, right? And so this could be, a career. It could be, a pursuing somebody who you like, right? It could be, just changing certain things in your life, certain habits in your life, trying to get onto a path that feels more, like yourself and more what you personally want for yourself, right? And the 10 of Rods, when it comes up, it's always like that feeling of being on that last home stretch, like you've done so much to get to this point. And first and foremost, I feel like Spirit is telling me that if you are watching this pile right now, if you chose this Soladite, if you chose this specific pile, to just take a second and congratulate yourself. Congratulate yourself for just being proud and amazed at how far you've come on your journey this far, just to get here, just to be able to be open to receive this message, and for all of the work that you've been putting in on your journey. Creator, Spirit, the divine does not see those things, and that's the first message that I'm getting very clearly, is to pat yourself on the back and to acknowledge how hard you've worked to get to this point, And, you know, sometimes when we're on our journey and we have this very specific vision that we are trying to create for ourselves, this very specific thing that we are reaching towards, this very specific thing that we're trying to get out of, it can feel very, very difficult to acknowledge the small accomplishments along the way, to acknowledge our accomplishments. And, you know, because it's not there yet, you know what I mean? Because it's not exactly what it is that we want. And here with this message, what I'm getting is that it's very, very important to pause, take this time to congratulate yourself, to be proud of yourself like your own parent. You know, a lot of times, depending on how you grew up, we have not been taught to celebrate ourselves. We've been taught to bully ourselves. And so this is actually saying, hey, celebrate yourself. I know it's not exactly where you want it to be. I know you feel like why is it not there yet? I've been working so hard. This is getting so annoying and becoming such a burden, and I'm just never gonna get there. But the message is that you are gonna get there. You are super close. You are on the home stretch. Just keep going. Keep your focus strong. Keep following your heart and intuition, and congratulate yourself and thank yourself and look around and see all that you have accomplished already, and be proud of yourself and enjoy those things. Enjoy the little things and the little successes along your road. As you can see, the castle, you know, is in the distance. Your castle is in the distance, and the beautiful sunrise or sunset, however you want to look at it, is in the distance. And that this card came up with the Hangman and the Page of Cups, I think is also significant. You know, it's letting you know that you are like the Page of Cups. You know, the Page of Cups is somebody, look at this Page of Cups. They have their heart in one hand, and they have a chalice with fish in the other hand. And, you know, there's all this water behind this. So as I see, this is someone who's very emotional, someone who's very intuitive, someone who might be also a healer, who dabbles in any type of arts that help others. And it's letting you know that you're like this person right here. You know, you are tapped in. You are tapped in, and you have a lot to give because you can feel a lot. And, you know, when you have a lot to give and you can feel a lot, sometimes you give too much, right? And you can feel like you're giving all of yourself to people. You wear your heart on your sleeve. You know, you have all of this to give people. And why are you not at your castle already, you know? But this card is letting you know that you have so much to give. That's why you need to celebrate yourself on your road. That's why you need to celebrate where you are at this moment, because you have so much to give. You have given so much, and don't be afraid to give that back to yourself. Don't be afraid to give that back to yourself. And with the Hangman here as well, you know, what I'm really getting is to surrender. You know, the Hangman is all about surrendering and trusting. So when I see these three cards together, you know, I see it as you are very close to being at that vision, of being at that accomplishment, of being at that goal. You have so much to give. Do not underestimate your own truth. Do not underestimate your own gifts. Surrender to the process. Surrender to the process of self-discovery. Surrender to the process of pouring into yourself. Surrender to the process of committing to this path, to aligning to this path, to staying on this path, to keeping that castle in mind, and to making sure that you're filling your own cup if you're feeling low, that you're celebrating how much you have to give. You're honoring all of your emotions, the good, the bad, the ugly, which is all interpretive, right? And that you're trusting this process. Like the Hangman, you're trusting you're kind of bound up by it all, right? That you just have to keep on going forward no matter what. But trust it, surrender to it, and allow it to bring this unfolding that may surprise you. That may surprise you when you fully let go and allow it to transform your life and take it where it needs to go. So that's the message that I'm getting with our traditional tarot. I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple of oracle cards now for you as well. This first deck that I'm using is a deck that I really like. It's the Threads of Fate Shadow Edition, which has really helped me a lot in shadow work. They get straight to the point, and I love the descriptions on each of these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and see what card comes out for you. The Observer. The Observer indicates a time where you are being encouraged to suspend judgment or conclusions and simply witness. Hold the phone. Y'all heard that? Y'all heard that. A time where you are being encouraged to suspend judgment and simply witness. What was I saying over here? Hanged man. Trust, surrender. Witness your emotions. Witness all that you feel. Witness all that you are. Especially what I'm getting called to say is especially the emotions that you have been taught to reject within yourself. That you've been taught to think are too weak or too bad to think. Witness those emotions and hold space for those emotions. Observe them. Honor them. Humans are always trying to sort out their external world. We want to process it, make sense of it, and figure out our place within it, right? We want to just be at that castle already, right? Right? It is our way of trying to feel secure and comfortable within our environment. However, this can also reach extremes where we are automatically forming opinions without gathering enough information. For sure. And that's why I think this hangman position, this trust and this surrender to the journey, this trust and surrender to the vision, to the goal at hand is so important for my pile ones right now. To observe it and to surrender completely to it. And you may be surprised by what that process will unfold in your own life, to what you may observe, and what kind of healing, confirmation, peace that will bring to you. The observer asks you to pause and simply pay attention. This may feel passive, but in observing, we are already cultivating change. The balanced observer intuitively knows when to present and when to move. They watch, but they do not do so in a way that harms others. Many people may interpret them as being apathetic. In reality, they understand that there is a time and place for action. And again, as I'm hearing this card and reading this description, I'm also getting the message of the Page of Cups. And so if you relate to this Page of Cups feeling where you know you have so much to give to the world, you have these beautiful gifts, and you often find yourself giving more of yourself, you know, it's asking you to observe it. It's asking you to do so in a way that does not harm others, but also does not harm yourself by giving too much of yourself and giving your power away to other people and not recognizing the gifts that you have. Not recognizing the gift of your emotions, the gift of your way that you feel, the gift of your heart, the gift of what you bring to the table, and that you indeed bring something to the table. And just because it feels like a burden right now, maybe these emotions feel like a burden, maybe these emotions feel like more of an irritation than it is a gift. It's asking you to observe them, to take a pause, to surrender. An unbalanced observer becomes too stagnant. They can see how everything functions but do not believe that they are able to affect change as they are only one person. This can be a form of bypassing as they may not stand up when it is needed. And that's one of the things I love about these cards is they don't only talk about the positive aspects of each card. They also talk about what happens when you're unbalanced, if you're too much of an observer, right? So again, as always, take what resonates for you, leave the rest, fill it out on your journey. And it is a reminder to us about the world constantly changing, that we are constantly part of this co-creation process, that we are constantly, part of life itself. And there will be times where we know we need to step up and give and to speak out and to stand up for what we believe in. But then there will always be times where we also need to do the opposite, where it's good to observe, get more information, play a backseat in certain things, give to ourselves first. And it's all about that balance. So I hope that this has helped you. I'm going to pull two more oracle cards. Whoo! I got 2 cards here. It says, movement awakens my creative spirit. And we are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. Woo-wee! Whenever I see this card, it's always a reminder to get moving. Again, with the observer, I was talking about sometimes if you observe for too much, right? So if this was more of a message of you've been playing a backseat role, and you feel like this card is telling you that you've been observing too much, right? And you feel stagnant, you feel like, man, maybe you feel like you've been surrendering. Maybe you feel like you've been surrendering and this burden is not going away. To get moving. This is a reminder to get moving. And also when you are in an observing type of mode and you don't have much to communicate, it's always great to get moving either way. It helps your days have some fluidity to it. It helps spirit and creative energy and the thoughts and all those things to kind of move through your body, and helps you filter out the things that you need to know and the things that you don't need to know, right? Movement is a medicine. Reminder to me of how important movement is, and oftentimes when we don't move, we can start to get too much into our thoughts and have mental health issues. And it's actually something I believe why the Western world sees a rise of mental health issues, is because our ancient ancestors were so connected to their body and the land and in movement that they didn't really have as much time to have the mental health issues that we have from, and I personally believe that comes from that disconnection, that severing of our connections to our body, the movement, our land, and just being more part of life. And so, again, take what resonates with you, leave the rest. That's my personal belief when it comes to movement. And if you don't resonate with that, that is completely fine. It is what it is. We're going to keep going, and I'm going to read the card for the movement. It says, movement awakens our creative potential and our primal essence. It's a deep-rooted aspect of our womanly, manly, or even for gender non-conforming folks, nature, our human nature, and acts as a superfood for our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Your body dances with the song of your soul. When you move and flow, breathe deep, sweat your intentions, and empty out so you can let more in. Recognize stagnation. Your body wants to move, and avoiding this signal can lead to depression or buildup of stress. Movement flushes out tension, drawing clarity and confidence to the surface. And I love that part, right? It flushes out tension, drawing clarity and confidence to the surface. You ever worked out, and you just get home and you just feel so like, whew, right? And your whole day just seems to move so much easier, and you just feel so clear-headed that you don't have much to worry about, right? Because your body is like, whoo, we good. You just are in that moment. Replenish your magic and clear your head. Your body is your home and movement is your medicine. I love that. And this number is 27. If the number 27 means anything to you, there is also a ritual that this guidebook comes with that you can participate in. I'm going to skip over that and continue going on to your second card because you did get 2 cards. But the ritual does have to include having a dance party. So if you are, drawn to this pile, if you are pile 1, if you chose that Soladite and you feel that you really need some more movement in your life, throw on some music for 5 minutes and start dancing around your house, or even just go for a walk for 10 minutes, It's surprising how little bit amounts of movement. It doesn't have to be, we're on a marathon. You don't need to do a 30-minute cardio workout. Do something small, 5 minutes, a lunge challenge, something super small that that you personally are going to commit to and that actually you enjoy, right? Okay, so next one, we are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. That is number 39. That is number 39, and the card is titled Sisterhood. As we enliven the spirit of love and support for one another, the sacredness of sisterhood blooms all around us. No matter where we've come from, we are all sisters, reflecting a distinct radiance while holding one another during times of growth. Now, these cards were created by a group of women and are linked to the divine feminine and the moon cycles, but you can also plug this in with any gender, with any type of person, remembering that we are all connected, and to continue to be a loving mirror for the people in your life. Keep learning how to elevate yourself and the people around you. Nurture this powerful era of divine feminine and recognize the unique gifts we carry. We all long to be seen and valued, and we're feeling the call to commune and connect. Make space in your life for this unique bond to flourish. May we walk with trust and love. May we inspire and be inspired by our sisters. May all women, all people, celebrate one another and the many shades of our shared cycles. And so it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and jump forward to our last oracle deck. This is the Big Deck Energy Oracle by SpaceWalker. I'm going to link it in the description below. Right off the bat, a card jumped off, if you all saw that. The one thing that I really love about this deck before I read this card is that each one is color coordinated to the different chakras, which I think is super serendipitous. And if you chose pile 1, Soladite, I just said at the beginning that was tapped into throat chakra. And here is the card that got pulled for your pile that flew out right at the beginning. And it is blue attached to the throat chakra. So that is confirmation. And also I'm feeling called by spirit that if you chose pile 1, again, and you feel like you've been giving a lot to the people around you, or you feel just in general like you have a hard time voicing your needs and voicing your desires and voicing your wants, that this is confirmation that your wants, your desires, your needs are important and that you should voice those things, and that what you have to contribute, what you have to say is worthy, what you have to contribute, what you have to say is important. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read this card. It says, "Hello, I'm alive. I love it, and I love you just as much because I feel so alive in your presence. I feel so me, truly and wholeheartedly. Please tell me that you feel the same about you so we can dance as one and always feel confident in the moves we make and never step on our own feet. Do you hear me? What I say to you in your dream, what the others said only translates your fear." Woo! Woo! Shake it all out. Shake it all out. Shake it all out. All right, my pile ones, I hope that this really helped you wherever you are right now. As again, always take what resonates with you, leave the rest. If you found something helpful in this pick a card reading, go ahead and drop a comment below and share with a friend. And until next time. All right, pile 2, if you chose Lavender Amethyst, this beautiful crystal right here, this is your pick a card reading. I'm going to start with the general tarot cards and see what cards come out, what messages Spirit has for you. Sorry, a couple of cards dropped. I want to make sure that I got all of them before we continue on. All right, so the cards that dropped is the 3 of Rods and the Page of Swords. So when I see the 3 of Rods and I'm looking at this card right now, the first thing I notice is the ships in the background and this person looking at the ships. And with the 3 of Rods, we never really know whether the ships are coming in or whether the ships are going or whether this is a sunrise or a sunset. But what we do know is that there's either an ending or a beginning that is happening in your life right now. And this is also a 3 of Rods, and the 3 represents the feminine energy. 3 always represents that void energy, that kind of pause energy inside my own practice and what I've seen. And so when I see this, you may be at a place in your life right now where you are dealing with a release of some sort, an ending of some sort, or a beginning, or maybe a new opportunity that is coming your way. And sometimes when it feels like an ending, it really is a new beginning. So as I see this card, you see this person has their 3 rods and they're looking at the ships. Perhaps, feeling the emotion, with the sea back here of that ending. But with the promise that there is a beginning on the horizon. And the card that came is the Page of Swords. that came out with this card. And as you can see, this is a young person who looks like they are battling, or they're gripping their sword pretty tight. The pages are a youthful type of presence within the tarot. So when I see this card, I think of somebody who is young, who is going out into the world and sharing their messages, and maybe because they're still young and learning, maybe don't always seem to communicate their messages the right way, quote unquote. But remember that good and bad is all subjective. It all is what it is, right? And is a young person on the battlefield of life, right? That's what I get from these two cards, right? So you may possibly be going through a situation. If you picked pile number 2, the Lavender Amethyst, you may be going through a situation, right? And especially since this one I was talking about the feelings of, going through certain things with heart and grief, and Lavender Amethyst being something that's a healing stone to help with heartache, right? So what I'm getting, the message that I'm getting from the divine right now is that there is a significant ending that is happening in your life, or a significant beginning. And there is some sort of grief, some sort of sadness, even nostalgic of just, looking out on the horizon for what is to come, and to honor what has come. And being a new challenge and a new battlefield, and you're gaining all of this knowledge and experience and learning how to communicate more effectively, learning how to use your sword more effectively, that you may feel like you're being personally attacked. You may feel like, you have to grip your sword a little bit tighter. But when I see this pairing together, I also see it as a reminder that there is more to come, more to be revealed, more to be unraveled. And I'm going to go ahead and pull another card for a little bit more clarity on what the situation is that, may have you feeling like this Page of Swords type of energy. Oh, snap. Okay. Yeah, definitely. If you picked pile 2, it's definitely an ending or a beginning that has to do with relationships. That's definitely the message I'm getting. And if that doesn't relate to you, this may not be your pile, and that's completely okay. We're going to keep going. Feel free to choose a different pile. But the message that I'm getting here is that this person is going through heartbreak, transitions, grief, loss, beginnings and endings that is causing them to be a little bit defensive, is causing them to, speak to protect, to defend. And you see, this is 3 of Swords, is, they've been stabbed in the heart. Whenever I get this card, it's always like, I hate getting this card, because I know where I'm at when I get this card. I usually am going through something that is making me feel completely alone, that makes me feel like I've been betrayed or hurt by the people who I love, who are closest to me, or feel like they have left me out in the cold. So that makes complete sense why you might be in this Page of Swords energy, where you have to defend yourself, right? Well, you have to protect your heart, because it has been, stabbed by life, by possibly people around you. But the message that I'm getting with the Lavender Amethyst is to tap into this energy, to heal this heart, these situations, the rain, the grief, feel it, completely feel it, allow those emotions to be processed. But we always can choose whether we want to continue to act out of that hurt or not. And so as I'm doing this reading, the medicine that is coming through that I feel Spirit is telling me to tell you is, 1, I see you. I acknowledge your hurt. I acknowledge your pain. I acknowledge what you are going through. And it wasn't fair. I feel like the situation is probably not fair for you. But hold yourself in this space. Admire your resilience, your strength. Heal yourself. Ask the divine to come into your life, Creator, Spirit, and cleanse you, renew you, to heal this heart before moving forward. Because sometimes when we are in heart pain and we move forward, we find that we hurt a lot of people on our path out of our own hurt. All right, I'm going to actually pull another card from the tarot and hear any other advice for my pile twos, because I really feel for you all and what you're going through. And I want you to know that you are not alone. That again, the divine sees you, creator, universe. They know what you're going through, and they want you to know that you are loved. And sometimes we don't understand that. When we feel misalienated, we feel like we're going through heartache. We don't understand how certain things are being rearranged in our life for our highest good. Ooh, hoo-wee. And as I said that, you get the Death card in reverse and the Empress. And so when I see these two cards together, again, it may feel like you're going through a lot of grieving. The Death card, even though it has a bad rep in the tarot, people look at it as being a bad or negative card. It just represents change, something that has changed and cannot go back, right? And as human beings, as living beings, we are constantly going through change. Our hair is growing every single day. Eyelashes are falling off and regrowing. We are always going through change, and we can see that as we look outside our windows and see the earth and the seasons changing along with us, right? And each moment we have is a precious moment, and each moment will never be experienced that way again. And that's what makes life so beautiful. I see this card as just a reminder that you are going through change, but this card is also reversed. So as I see this card reversed, it may seem like you're going through this death. It may seem like you're being left out in the cold. It may seem like you are being, picked on by the world. But, the beauty of that 3 energy, right? At the beginning of the reading, we were talking about the 3 of rods, that 3 energy, the void energy, and what makes the divine feminine power so strong is it's like a womb, right? The womb is a bare, dark place, and it is the fertile grounds of creation. And that is what this Empress feminine energy does. It takes death, it takes decay, it takes the ickiness, it takes the void, it takes the bad-ish that we are dealt with in life, and it transmutes it, and it actually births life out of death. It rebirths. And that's what this Empress energy is it's actually a very, very special time for you and your creative energy. The Empress is all about creation. And so what I'm really feeling called to say is that, although you are maybe feeling a lot of grief, and you may be feeling, left out into the cold, to carve out the time to, possibly journal it out, what you're feeling, and to create something out of it. And it doesn't need to be create something out of it and share it on Instagram or share it with anybody, but no, rather just hold that space of creative energy. It literally could be singing sad melodies to yourself. It can be surprisingly therapeutic when you just allow that raw emotion to come out in a creative way, drawing it out. It makes me think of, I have this painting that I did when I was going through one of the most difficult times of my life. And I'm not gonna go too much into detail because I don't want to trigger anyone. But if you're feeling like you're in a similar situation, that painting that I did, actually, I feel saved my life. I literally just grabbed a bunch of paints and started throwing it onto canvas, with my bare hands, was yeah, that type of thing. And I'll try to post a picture of the painting at the end of this reading, if this was your reading, because I really feel for my pile twos, and what you're going through if this is your reading. But it was probably one of my favorite pieces I've ever painted. And a lot of the things that I create actually came from me being in a place where I felt like I didn't know what else to do. I felt so emotionally raw, vulnerable, hurt, at my wit's end. But taking that energy and expressing it in creation helped me and has helped me to alchemize that energy and to hold that space for myself to process those emotions and to feel those emotions and come out on the other side and feel the strength, the resilience, and the beauty of all that I am and all that we are. So if this is your pile and you are feeling, in a change in life, an ending in life, Spirit Divine sees you, one, and does not look at what you're going through as being little. It does not look at what you're going through as not being important. It does not look at what you're going through and say, hey, you're on your own. And even though you may feel like you are on your own in this situation, you are not, because I truly believe that in those times where we feel like we are left alone, Creator, Divine, the universe is oftentimes doing a lot behind the scenes that we can't necessarily see or understand unless we're tapped into it, so if this is your pile, I get a strong message of just taking that time to sit with yourself in that kind of void energy, write it out, journal it, and express. And you may be surprised by the beautiful gems that come out of that process. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the Threads of Fate Oracle deck for this pile. Sending you all lots of love to my pile twos. And let me know if this reading is resonating with you. I'm always trying to get better at my practice and what I do, and, being in service to others through these tarot card readings. And so your feedback is extremely important. Okay, we're gonna keep going and read this next. Oh, okay. My pile twos. The card that came out right now is Nature, the Nature card. I'm going to show you the card in a second. And the reason why I just, kind of smiled about it is because there is no greater example of someone who can take the BS that we are given in life, the destruction we are given in life, the death we are given in life, the decay, and create something beautiful, amazing, renew, and turn it around into, a whole new chapter, a whole new life as Mother Earth. Mother Earth is the biggest creator that, always leaves me inspired when I'm feeling the way that this pile 2 energy is, and feeling so alone and hurt and unseen and just like I've been left to bleed out. This card, when I get the Nature card, usually is telling me you need to get your butt in nature, go hang out with Mother Earth, tap into the ground, feel the dirt, hug a tree, go on a nice walk and hike with the earth, and just observe all of nature. And as you do, there's this natural connection we feel to those cycles of death and decay and birth and renewal inside our own hearts, inside our own lives, and inside nature. And can really help to transmute, to to empty out those feelings, to bring equilibrium, to balance us out. If you are feeling really down and out, this card, this pile, you are being recommended to go out into nature and be with the mother of all creation, who, is the most divine example of taking crappy situations, death and decay, and creating something brand new out of it. Nature has a profound effect on our well-being. It increases creativity, relieves depression and anxiety, improves memory and focus, and rewires our stress response hormones. Studies have shown that even looking at photographs of nature can be of benefit. If you live in a place where you can easily access nature, spend some time this week to get out there. If you do not, think of some creative ways you can interact with nature from where you are. Whether that is sourcing local vegetables, plant medicine, or even spending time in a park. You can also create an altar using natural materials such as sticks, leaves, grasses, flour, dirt, rocks, sands, or however you feel called. So that's the description for nature. And again, my pile 2s, I'm just sending you lots of prayers of support and love and confirmation, you know, that you are being seen for what you're going through. Sometimes it helps just to, you know, have someone who recognizes our hurt and our pain and validates it, what we're going through. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the Moon deck. This is also one of my favorite oracle decks. So the first card I got was live each moment with a presence of gratitude. I live each moment with a presence of gratitude. And this is card number 17, if that number means anything to you. The second card we got is, and this was the same card for pile number 1, we are all sisters and reflect the divine in one another. And that is number 39. And then the last card was number 2, I celebrate my lineage and honor my ancestors. And I love this card because this card comes up for me when I am dealing with difficult situations, and it's always a reminder that dealing with those difficult situations, taking up that work, that is celebrating and honoring your ancestors by taking up that work and doing that work. Whenever I see this card, it's always a reminder to me that, you know, when we take up that work, of, you know, transmuting our hurt, of, you know, not giving up, of choosing to renew and release and replenish and to see something from a new lens and to work through our hurt and pain, that is actually a direct celebration and honoring of our ancestors. So I'm going to go ahead and read the description for each card. And let's start with number 2, ancestors. We each come from a unique lineage filled with timeless teachings and the stories of our ancestors. Many of our freedoms and gifts rest on the sacrifice of those who lived before us. One of the most important ways we can honor them is by fulfilling our life's purpose. Those you choose to honor or feel most connected to may be from the recent or distant past. You may feel an affinity to your own ancestral blood or a tribe that is different from your own, leaders and teachers you look up to, friends, or even animals. Whatever is your path, dial into the oneness that has led you here. By living out your full potential, you're helping to heal and honor a long lineage. Our ancestors are our allies near and far, and we can always turn to them for guidance and understanding. Celebrate where you come from, honor the legacy before you, and welcome the legacy you leave behind. There is a ritual that is attached to each card, but because your pile got 3 cards, I'm not going to be able to go into each ritual, but it is a recommendation to, you know, carve out time possibly to journal or just, you know, speak prayers, you know, speak to your ancestors and ask for them to guide you during this time, ask for their advice, and do some work around ancestral healing, which there are plenty of videos on YouTube that can help to spark inspiration to move forward. And yeah, again, I really feel like this card, whenever I am going through difficult situations, it is always a reminder that dealing with that difficult situation is a celebration to my ancestors, and doing that work and returning back to a state of unconditional joy and love is honoring our ancestors, is honoring the work that they put in before us. All right, the next card, number 39, Sisterhood. As we enliven the spirit of love and support for one another, the sacredness of sisterhood blooms all around us. No matter where we come from, we are all sisters, reflecting a distant radiance while holding one another during times of growth. Continue to be a loving mirror for the women in your life and keep learning how to elevate yourself and your sisters. Nurture this powerful era of divine feminine and recognize the unique gifts we carry. And you do not have to be a female to tap into that feminine energy and to celebrate the women around you, and how healing that can be for whoever is reading this. Even though this deck was created by a group of women, I believe the messages and the healing that these cards can bring can be, used for people of all genders. We all long to be seen and valued, and we're feeling the call to commune and connect. Make space in your life for this unique bond to flourish. May we walk with trust and love. May we inspire and be inspired by our sisters. And may all women, all people, celebrate one another and the many shades of our shared cycles. And so it is. All right, gonna move on to your last oracle card from this moon deck. Number 17, if that number means anything to you. Gratitude. And I love this card. Sometimes when I see this card, I have a little bit of like a PTSD reaction where I'm like, really? Just because it's like, usually when this card comes up, I'm going through difficult situations, and it's a reminder to just have gratitude for your breath. And sometimes that can seem really cheesy and can seem like it's not good enough, And my tattoos on my hand are actually also a reminder of that. It says mind over matter, faith above all, and gratitude when your faith ain't working. You know what I mean? And that's because, there's a lot of situations in life where, for me personally, where I felt that I've needed faith, to be able to pull through when I felt like my mind, my mental health was not capable of pulling me through it. And then at times my faith didn't feel strong enough, and I just had to have gratitude that I was breathing, that I was alive, that, that we're still in this, and every day that you were still breathing, that you were still alive, and you were still in this, that you were still here, you still have the opportunity to change whatever situation is in your life. And so, yeah, we're going to go ahead and read this card. The greatest prayer is thank you. Gratitude puts things into perspective and connects us to the present where we're engaged in a meaningful life. Infuse gratitude into everything you create and touch. Cultivate it daily with intention and teach yourself to be truly conscious of the treasures in your life. Truly conscious of the treasures of your life. Again, I so feel for my pile twos. I feel for you all, because I think Spirit and the Divine definitely wants you to honor what you're going through. But, it is an invitation to invite gratitude into our lives when we're going through very difficult situations. It can be helpful to just try to find things that are going well, to help balance out the emotional turmoil that's happening inside of us. Share gratitude with as many people as possible and allow this to become a fundamental part of your lifestyle. The abundant material of daily life is your greatest guide, reminding you to allow the healing and prosperous roots of gratitude to run deep in all that you birth. Return to thank you until it becomes an integrated, glowing part of your presence. And so it is, right? Gratitude also helps to point towards the situations that we can move forward with, right? To focus on the things that are working and how to amplify those things during these times. Can be great medicine. And of course, balancing it out with always honoring your emotions, honoring how you feel. And sometimes that is just letting yourself cry it out, letting yourself feel all that it is, I'm going to pull another card. This card is from the Big Deck Energy from SpaceWalker's deck. I'm going to tag it below in the description. Again, I hope that this reading is really helping my pile twos wherever you are, sending you lots of love. And, I have this painting of the goddess Isis in the background. Shout out to SpaceWalker again. This goddess came into my life through SpaceWalker, and it has been somebody who has helped me a lot through grief and trauma in my life. There's a story about the goddess Isis and how she, her husband was killed, and how she wandered the land grieving over her husband who was murdered by her brother, and how she collected his body parts that had been dismembered across the land and brought them all together to revive her husband to be able to give birth to her child. And so if there's anybody who knows about grief and trauma and hurt and pain, it is the goddess Isis. And she has always been this gentle, loving force who just wraps her wings around you and brings that balance, you know, to kind of transmute the icky parts and bring you back to equilibrium. So I felt very called to share that for my pile 2s as I'm over here shuffling this big deck energy. Let's see what the big deck energy has for y'all. And oh my goodness, just like pile 1, their deck, their card of this one matched their crystal. And for you, I don't know where your crystal went, but you had the lavender amethyst, and this card is also purple. And the thing I love about these cards is that they actually match the chakras. So this would be the crown chakra. And I'm going to go ahead and read it for you. Hey, how is your mother? She's great, I promise. Ask her yourself. There is more than one way to be a family. Know that we love you. Know we care what you think. Know we love seeing you grow and you're getting better. You know, the sky and ground have a special bond through the distance that can be annoying. They meet all the time. New ways are being born every instant. Feel is everything. Action displays what you feel. Be aware. Find a way to uplift yourself always. Find a way to uplift yourself always. They wait patiently for you. Be patient too. Woo! And, you know, it says, how is your mother? And the goddess Isis is known as being the mother of all the gods. So I think that was, you know, very serendipitous that this message came through. Whew. Holding this space for you all here for my pile 2s. Again, I'm sending you all massive amounts of love and support. I hope that this reading has helped you. And if you resonated with any of the messages, feel free to comment below and share the video, give it a thumbs up. It helps to build my channel so that these messages can get out to more people who may need them. And as always, again, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Until our next video, peace. All right, welcome, pile number 3. If you chose this shell, this is your reading. This is my 3rd time trying to do the reading for my pile 3s. I'm already picking up on just so much energy happening, which, you know, automatically Page of Wands just popped out right now, which is, you know, a lot of energy, a young person with a lot of energy and has a lot that they want to create. So if you resonate with this pile, I'm already picking up on just a lot of mental and physical energy. If you hear me talking right now, I'm getting a little bit more pumped up. The Chariot came out as well. This is a major arcana card. So I definitely feel like you are in a situation where something is coming towards you, or you are feeling like, you know, you are pushing forward no matter what. You know what I mean? Like sword slicing, no matter what is coming your way, you are going to pioneer your path and continue forward. The next card that I got for you is the Queen of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Cups, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Woo! So much energy happening with my pile 3s, so much going on, and I'm gonna do my best to interpret what these cards are telling me and interpret the messages that I am getting from Spirit. As always, take what resonates with you on your journey and leave the rest. So the first thing I'm getting, like I said, is that I'm getting this energy of somebody who has a lot of energy, who has a lot going on in their mind, somebody who wants to do a lot, and maybe doesn't have it all kind of figured out how to get to where we're going, and that's okay, because none of us do, right? And regardless, you're like that warrior. You're gonna blaze forward with determination, and you are going to stay on course. And the Chariot sometimes is like, whether you like it or not, you are gonna stay on course because the situation's gonna pull you forward, right? I see the Queen of Cups, And I think what I'm feeling with the Queen of Cups, especially in this reading, where it has a lot of Wands energy, a lot of fire energy, is, you know, as you're blazing forward, you know, to tap into that intuition, to tap into that Queen of Cups energy, to also see the beauty of the Queen of Cups energy and allow it to help you, to intuitively guide you to what the next steps are, because I'm feeling such a rush of energy from my pile of threes. Like, they just want to go, go, go and get ish done, you know? And the Knight of Wands also came out in your reading, which when I see the Knight of Wands, again, it's a lot of passion, it's a lot of energy, but the Knights are slow moving. My experience with the Knights in the tarot have been, they're slow moving, you know? So, you know, don't burn yourself out trying to get everything done in you know, one day, and being frustrated because you're not where you want to be today, right now. You know, tap into your intuition, tap into your emotions, write out, you know, write out a plan. I feel like my pile threes could really use writing out what's going on in their mind and how they're feeling to better have an idea of where to go next for the next steps for themselves. And remembering that what you're creating, you know, is not gonna happen overnight, and to not burn yourself by, you know, trying to, you know, force all these things to happen right now at this moment. That's not, again, not to not use that energy. I think that that energy is amazing, but to channel it, you know what I mean? To channel it and to pace yourself, because you may be feeling like it's, you know, all this energy, a big high, and then you crash the next day and just, you know, emotionally feel raw, and all of those things, right? The Ten of Cups also came out, and I think the Ten of Cups is, you know, a reminder, because this is such a Wands energy reading, and I'm getting from my pile threes that you are somebody who's heavily career focused. You are somebody who's heavily focused on manifesting and getting ish done. You a boss, capital BAWSE, boss energy for my pile threes is what I'm feeling. And it's, you know, Spirit is telling me that, you know, if you are feeling that fire energy and you're mentally kind of also feeling all over the place, to again tap into that Queen of Cups and emotional side so that you can bring yourself into balance. And that, you know, to remember that this is a journey. Knight of Wands energy, right? If this is a career that you're working towards, you know, it's a career, it's a lifelong journey. You know, you may be in this career for 20 years, so pace yourself and incorporate how you feel into what you're doing. Save time for how you're feeling and your emotions, as well as making sure that you're moving and getting things done. The last card that I got was the Queen of Wands reversed, and it is reversed. And so Queen of Wands is all about that creation energy, and manifesting energy, and divine feminine creation energy. So if you're feeling like maybe you're in a place, I feel like you have a lot of energy, you want to get a lot of things done, you are very passionate and have a lot of beautiful ideas, and you're continuing forward, and you're just like, I'm gonna make this work no matter what, nothing is stopping me. But maybe you feel like you're experiencing certain blockages and you're not able to bring forth the things that you want to bring forth because that Queen of Wands is in reverse. And so the message that I'm feeling is that if you are feeling that way, the best thing for you to do at this moment is to tap into that Queen of Cups softer side, the more emotional, intuitive side of yourself. Possibly, you know, journal, drink water, you know, because this is a lot of fire energy that I'm getting from this reading. And sometimes if it's a lot of fire, again, it can be so big that you just burn yourself out, right? So it could be helpful for you during this time to balance those energies out, to drink some water, to even go to the ocean and, you know, watch the ocean, you know, any kind of large body of water, to journal your emotions, journal your feelings, and balance that out, because you have the Ten of Cups here, which the Ten of Cups is all about balancing your home and work life. And so for this reading, I'm feeling like it's a very passionate person, somebody who is just determined to continue forward no matter what the obstacle is. You are on fire, boss energy, grinding. But Spirit is also like, hey, just a reminder, if you are experiencing blockages and you're feeling like, man, I'm really pushing forward, I'm telling you, I'm feeling this energy of pile number 3, like, nothing's gonna stop me, some Kali Mal type of shit, you know? And if you're feeling that energy and you're getting frustrated because you're like, man, I don't care what kind of blockages is coming, I'm gonna make it happen, but you keep feeling the same kind of blockage in manifesting, in creating, you know, Queen of Wands reverse, I think it could really help my pile 3s to tap into their intuition, their emotion, slow it down just a little bit, because Knight of Wands is reminding that this is a lifelong journey, career manifestation that you are creating. It's not going to happen overnight. And it can take years of work, you know, to get where you're going. And Spirit wants you to be prosperous. Spirit knows you're going to be prosperous. Spirit knows you're going to be abundant. Spirit knows that you're going to get to where you're going. But Spirit wants to make sure that your heart is okay too, and that your emotional body is okay too, and that your mind is healthy too, and your spirit is healthy too, so that when you get there, wherever it is, and you feel the booming success, that you don't get there and you're like, man, I'm burned out, and are not able to sustain it. Okay, so that's the immediate reading that I'm getting from my pile 3s. Whoo, man, pile 3. Let me know if you chose pile 3. Say something in the comments below, because I'm telling you, this is the 3rd time. I did not have any issues trying to get the readings done for pile 1 and pile 2, but pile 3, my phone died in the middle of your reading, and then I tried to start it up again, and my phone messed up a 2nd time, and now now I'm doing your reading for a 3rd time, and I'm already feeling all of the excitement and emotions and like fire energy, just like, you know. So if you resonate with pile 3, what's up, man? You are a boss energy, leader energy, fire energy, someone who gets ish done, you know. And so during this time, it could help to balance that out a little bit if you're feeling like, you know, you're just running all over the place like a rat race, you know, to tap in a little bit to the more emotional side of your body, balance yourself out. You know, if you're somebody who's really heavy focused on career and work, you know, it's just a reminder to check in with your family, check in with your friends, because, you know, that high energy rush that we feel when we're creating is amazing, but it can, you know, just completely take over and drain you and leave you feeling, you know, empty when what you're working towards isn't something that's going to happen overnight. So making sure that you're taking care of yourself for the long term and longevity, because Spirit wants you to be successful in all areas of your life. All right, so I got 2 cards here. The first card is number 30. I surrender to the power of prayer and devotion. This is from the Moon deck. I surrender to the power of prayer and devotion. So, you know, if you are someone who prays, you know, praying to Creator what it is that you are trying to create, surrendering to that prayer, and surrendering to the devotion of this commitment, which is interesting because before the last 2 readings, when I was trying to do the reading for pile 3, the Lovers card came up. You know, so again, I'm feeling like this is someone who has a lot of energy, has a lot that they want to bring into life, a lot that they want to accomplish, you know, and it may feel all over the place, which is why it's helpful when we tap into our emotions to give us that kind of groundedness to really figure out what is the most important to focus on at this moment. And then this card comes up, surrender to the power of prayer and devotion, devoting yourself to that specific thing, and committing to it, you know. When you have a lot of energy and you're trying to figure it out, sometimes we move on really fast, you know, start one project, start the other. Maybe you're someone who doesn't really finish, you know, and has so much energy and burst of explosion of energy and super inspired to start something, but has a struggle, you know, Knight of Wands, it's a long-term thing, you know, so balancing it out, you know, to go slow is to go fast, and to, you know, commit to one thing at a time. There are times when prayer and devotion drops us to our knees with a heartfelt plea for support and direction. Other times it's a calm daily reprieve where we fill our cup with gratitude and open up to the holy flow. Your path and your relationship to the divine is unique to you and always evolving. The sincerity you bring to your spiritual practice, just like any relationship, is when it really blossoms. Prayer takes our truth to the collective experience and to a loving vibration that moves through all of us and all things. When the mental loop of fear-based stories surface, it's often a sign that you've disconnected from your power, your greater service, and your connection to spirit. Tap into the powerful practice of prayer and feel the loving force of devotion. And the interesting thing about this is that she has a cup in her hand, and the cups, the chalices in the tarot, the Queen of Cups, right? It represents spirit. It represents our emotional body. So, I think that's very telling that, if you have a lot of energy, you've been really working towards things, and you're feeling, anxious or feeling, all over the place, it could be helpful to just take a step back, like I said, tap into those emotions, and reconnect to your power, reconnect to spirit, reconnect to your emotional body, reconnect to your intuition. It will really help to renew and release, and be able to see the situation for what it really is and see it from a new lens. All right, the next card that comes is number 11, which I'm really glad that this card came for you because it's just confirmation that whatever it is that you're working towards, all that passion, all that love that you have for what it is that you're building in your life right now, all is possible. And even though, this reading, I'm getting a strong message of just slowing down and tapping into your emotions, tapping into your spirit, making sure you're taking care of yourself, your heart. It's not to let you know like, hey, it's not possible. No, it's possible. You're going to get where you're going. But let's make sure you get where you're going and it's sustainable, right? Number 11 is this card. And it says, my dreams reveal that magic is real and anything is possible. Dreams of the night may reveal insights that rest in our subconscious. They may also inform our daydreams where we become masters of boundless possibility. Our dreams need inspiration to flourish and can help us better understand our path and awaken our connection to the greatest vision. Your dreams are asking you to bring them to life with continuous support and sincere belief. Continuous support and sincere belief. Again, if you're feeling any kind of blockages, Queen of Wands in reverse, you have all this energy, all this passion, but have a hard time channeling it to get it to be sustainable and continue. This right here is asking you to awaken that connection to your vision. If you don't keep a dream journal, write a dream journal down and record your dreams when you wake up, and allow your dreams and allow your emotional body and allow your spiritual body, your feelings, your intuition to kind of guide you to what to focus on, what to channel that passionate energy into. If you're feeling like you are just kind of working on all these different things and having, a hard time, focusing on one thing at a time and getting to where you're trying to go, and you're just feeling burned out, taking it slow and steady, one thing at a time, one day at a time. Welcome motivation, imagine commitment, and a playful spirit. Consider yourself a midwife to your dreams. That's right. Set clear intention for your present path, nurture its growth, and then let go. Right? It takes bravery to build and fully realize your dreams. And I love how it says, set clear intentions for your present path, nurture its growth, and then let go. Right? And when we tap into that Queen of Cups energy, we tap more into the emotional body, we tap more into the spiritual body, we're able to really set intentions for our present path and nurture the growth, right? We're able to really know which decision, which project at that current moment is worth our energy and is the most important. It takes bravery to build and fully realize your dreams. As you infuse them with conscious love and dedicated action, build your dream team and have gratitude for the inspired force beneath it all. I love that. And what is action without inspired force? Inspirited action. That emotional, intuitive, feeling, spiritual action that will lead you to where you need to be, to lead you to know which action to take, and ultimately keep you fulfilled and sustained as you continue on your path, creating whatever it is that you desire. And it also helps us to tap better into what it is that we desire. Sometimes when you have a lot of energy and you're on a new path and you're trying to create something, and you haven't set that time aside to be able to tap into your emotional body, your spiritual body, your intuition, to see what it is that, you know, is the most important, you find yourself just running ragged because you haven't narrowed it down yet to really make sure we're making the best use of our energy, our time, and our day. And of course, all of these situations are growth. You know, they're teaching us how to better navigate in the world and to be, you know, stronger in what we're doing, and how to, you know, utilize our time, energy, and abilities with more grace and poise and effortlessness. So the card that came up, no surprise, is the Void. The Void. The Void card came up, and I think that is really telling, because when I tap into the Void energy, it's usually when I personally am feeling like I want to get done and I'm go, go, go type of mentality. The Void card will come up and be a reminder that sometimes you just need to take a step back and sit in that void and not know what's the next step. Feel it out completely. Tap into those emotions and, you know, do some of that internal work so that when you do take action, it's more effective action. You're moving forward. But, you know, think of it like, you know, if you are trying to go down a path, right? Let's say there's two paths and you're just like, well, we just got to go. So you just go down the path. Well, that may not, you go down that path and you find out there's all these spiders and snakes and this was not the path that you wanted to take, right? Instead, take the time to read the descriptions of the path, sit back and fill it out in your intuition, which path you actually want to go down, so that when you make that choice, you know, again, going back to the Lovers, when you make that choice and commit to that path, it's actually the right path, and you don't have to double back and be like, oh, we got to turn around and go down the other path because I didn't think about it and I just went, you know? So the Void can be deeply uncomfortable. Yes, deeply uncomfortable. It is nothing, an emptiness that penetrates all aspects of self. We may feel blank. What we were once passionate about feels cold to us. We may not be able to see or sense anything about where we are going next. Queen of Wands energy, right? Reverse. You know, filling these blockages, right? We may enter a void after all that we have known and is not that what we thought it was. It may feel like disbelief. It may feel like you don't have any faith. It may feel like you don't know what is real and what is not. This is the part where we must surrender to. This may also indicate a time where you are questioning everything you believe in, or questioning your significance in the world. When you are in the void, you may have an instinct to fill the empty space. Again, you may be like, you know, I don't know what to do. I'm experiencing these blockages, but we gotta go, cheery and move forward, right? But this card is saying, don't feel that void. Don't feel that empty space. Slow down. Allow yourself the break. Allow yourself to turn inward. Look at your emotional, spiritual landscape so you can sort it out and better know how to use your energy rather than just run yourself ragged and maybe go down, you know, and invest your energy into something that ultimately is not going to be what you want it to be because you didn't take the time to fill it out and take that space for yourself, right? Because we can get uncomfortable here, right? In our Western world, we are uncomfortable with inaction, you know? We may miss some of the lessons. We are taught to constantly push forward. The void teaches us to be still and okay with uncertainty. Trying to escape this space ensures we stay here or return sooner than we would like. You may have an instinct to fill the emptiness, but remind yourself that emptiness is a prayer. What? Emptiness is a prayer. Surrender to the power of prayer and devotion. And again, if you're not somebody who prays, I see that as surrendering to the power of tapping into your own emotions. Surrender into the power of tapping into how you really feel. Because when you actually tap into that, when you do move, you are going to move with so much more power, so much more certainty, and it's going to be, get you to the place that you actually want to be, rather than just moving because you have all this energy and you feel like you have to move. It's a reminder that when we take a step back and evaluate things, we're able to move from a much more certain place. We're able to move and do more with less energy, and then be a much more balanced approach. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and read one more card from my pile 3s from the big deck energy. Again, all of the cards descriptions are gonna be linked in the description box, so check it out. Check out the creators of these beautiful cards. Give them some love and support if you vibed with one of them, you know. All right, you have 2 cards that came out from the big deck energy, and I really like these cards because they're tapped into the chakras. So you have a blue, which is the throat chakra, and a green, which is your heart chakra. It says, "Oh wow, behold the greatest gift you ever were given or received. It is you, my dear creator, my dear masterpiece. You are enough. You are abundance. You are strength and the power you seek. We know your lips feel ready to speak, and we know it is getting easier for you to trust that the words are already there. They're always there. We know the medicine you need will find you in a way you predicted but can't quite articulate. Crystal candles drip tie-dye wax on my forehead. Wake up to get the best rest." Whew! Whew! That's wild. And what's wild about this card is that prior to my phone dying, when I was doing the first reading, the cards that were coming out were giving me this strong message of somebody who was focused on physical manifestation, you know, material things, possibly like a car, you know, finances, and it never feeling like you have enough, right? And again, with all of this like wands energy, it's like you have so much energy you want to create, and it's all over the place, and maybe you're just not feeling like it's getting you where you want to go. So this is an invitation that to let you know that where you want to go is you, right? Receiving yourself. That is the greatest gift of all, and that you are enough in this current moment. You are enough. The second card, throat chakra, it says, "Shimmering trees line the path to self-realization and make a good point that even when you feel stuck, there are infinite ways to stand up tall and stretch towards what you want. They teach us valuable lessons just by existing. Valuable lessons just by existing. Surrendering to the power of prayer and devotion. Sitting in that, intuitive, more emotional energy, and allowing yourself to be in that void and in action. Perspective is power. You are never alone. Your energy is infinite. Your vision is clearer than ever before. The connection between your mind and body is head first in healing. Alignment puts a hand on your shoulder, sharpens your senses, and softens your heart. Finally whole, fear falls apart." Woo-wee! So again, final message from my pile 3s. You know, tap into your own intuition, into your own heart. Allow yourself the space of inaction. Know that you are worthy just as you are, just by existing, of all your dreams coming true. Allow your time to sit in that void. Allow your time to sit with yourself, to feel the beauty and grace and abundance of just you, and then be able to move from a clearer space and do more with less. All right, pile 3, I really hope that this message helped. Again, as always, take what resonates and leave the rest. If you resonated with something on this message, go ahead and comment below. That's it for today. Thank you everybody who tuned into this pick a card reading. My name is Moon Magic, aka the Hip Hop Witch, and I really hope that these messages found you in a good place and help you along your journey. Until next time, take care. I'll be rocking indoors, inner city lit like Redondo Seashore when it rains.